You ready to go?
Yes, you may start.
Okay, call the meeting to order. Karen, you want to do the roll call, please?
Chris.
Here.
Dave.
Here.
Richard.
Here.
Tor. Sally. Nancy.
Yes.
And Heather. Joe, there's been issues with the, I couldn't get into where everybody else was.
Did Heather respond on that?
Here.
Okay.
You can come in here if you want.
Do we have any amendments to the agenda for today's meeting?
I do.
Okay.
In response to Liz's email from earlier, I would like to amend the agenda to add the Daryl Toyomura thing to the consent agenda.
Okay.
And I'd like to add the Brian Whitney thing to Commissioner's comments.
And what was the second one? The commissioner's comments?
Brian Whitney is letter.
Okay. All right. We have a motion to approve as amended.
So move.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Do we have any amendments to the May meeting minutes? Hearing none, do we have a motion to approve? So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do we have any amendments to the minutes from the July 14th meeting? Hearing none, do we have a motion to approve? So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, do we have any public comments unrelated to agenda items? Hearing none, let's move on to the consent calendar. Scheduling a public hearing for an application for a special use permit for Petersburg Mental Health Services Incorporated at 100 Fram Street. Do we have a motion to schedule this?
So move.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We have scheduling of a public hearing for an application for a conditional use permit for Daryl Toyomura at 15 West Lansing Street. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
So move.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Okay. Moving on to public hearing items.
When is that going to be? For next meeting?
That'll be at the next meeting.
Okay, I'm going to be out of town from September 2nd to September 26th, I'm sorry to say.
Okay.
So I won't be at the next meeting.
All right. I may not be here either. It depends on whether or not I have to go to Juneau for jury duty. So.
Is that for the state or for the Fed?
Federal.
Have you already heard from him? Because I have to call again on September 4th.
I have to call in on August 28th.
Well,
So our meeting's on the September 8th?
Yeah, I'm supposed to call in every week for 3 weeks, so we'll see. Anyway,
Yeah, Mona had to do that, and I had to do it, but neither of us had to go to Juneau, so.
well, we'll find out.
Yeah, you could get lucky.
Yeah. All right. Public hearing items. We have a consideration from an application for a conditional use permit for Eric Wool at 581 Midcoff Highway, allowing a home occupation. Do we have any public testimony? Hearing none. Do we have a motion?
Yes, I have a motion that we approve his permit.
Second?
second?
Okay. Any discussion?
Yeah, I have one question. Does he own the property? And if he doesn't own the property, does he have permission of the landlord?
I believe he owns the property. If you look at the property tax, map. And then when he states that there's additional parking across the street, that's his mother-in-law's property.
Thanks.
Any other questions or discussion?
I guess we didn't receive any. Do any of the neighbors have any comments? We didn't receive anything?
I think there was a letter in support
Yes, there
of
was.
his mother-in-law.
I didn't
That doesn't count.
Good, we know that she's willing to have parking.
Yeah,
Okay.
does not object to what the family's doing. And I believe also he was issued his federal firearms permit.
Any other comments, questions? Hearing none, Karen, can you do the roll call, please?
Alrighty. Nancy?
We've lost Karen. I don't see her on our screen.
Nancy?
There she is. You can kind of hear her.
Nancy?
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Heather?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
And Richard? Unmute yourself, Richard.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so that motion passes. Consideration of an application from Alan Otness, for a minor subdivision located at 696 Midcoff Highway. Any public testimony? Do we have a motion?
I believe, Rick, are you here to speak to that, or you're just here?
I'll answer any questions people have.
Okay. We have a motion to approve?
I so move. Second.
Okay, since we have a motion, let's have discussion, questions. Dave, you got anything?
Yeah, my main question is, at least what I can tell from the map, is that what you've done is you've subdivided the lot that the house is on and turned rest of the property into another lot. Is that correct, Rick?
Yes, that's right. Yes,
Is it 2 lots or 3 lots?
2 lots.
2 lots, okay.
2 lots, yeah.
So lot 3A already exists, and
Yes.
then okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And one other question, Rick. That's existing road that goes down there right now, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah, because the house is there, it's been there forever.
Right.
Okay,
The road goes to Kent Wegner's place.
right,
Kent is on the north half of Lot 8.
okay,
And then Alan has the warehouse, and that's on Lot 3A of the Lighthouse subdivision.
okay.
Okay.
And that's a pretty steep lot in there, if I recall, where it drops down from the road, from the road that they're building, or that's already there, but.
Yeah, it is. But they have, there's that storage shed up by the highway there. It's hard to see unless you go in there it's along the old highway road bed, and it's just off of that where he has his storage shed. It's just up above the existing road. So lot 3BAB has the storage shed, and then lot 3BAA has the house. So
Okay, thanks.
sure.
Yeah. Any other questions, discussion?
I make a motion. Oh, sorry. I'll just make a motion that we approve of, we already have a motion.
We have a motion, we just.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. I'll call the question then.
Dave,
Yes.
Heather,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Nancy.
Yes. Okay, so that is approved. We have consideration of an application from Mike and Kay Schwartz for a minor subdivision located at 410 to 412 South Nordic Drive. Do you have any public testimony?
Mike or Kay, are you on here just to answer questions, or Rick?
Yeah, I'll answer questions.
Okay. I just want to point out that the property is zoned commercial 2, not industrial, as it's listed in the application. It's actually all commercial 2 there.
Right, I understand that.
Okay. Oh, so for the commission, I know you know, Mike. Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess this is a question for Rick. So basically what you're doing is just eliminating the old lot lines and turning it into 2 lots?
Right. Yep.
So all the dotted lines were the old lot lines, and what you've essentially done is made it into one smaller lot and then one great big lot, the one that the house is on.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. We need to have a motion on this.
Oh, sorry. I make a motion that we approve the subdivision, the Swartz property.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seems pretty straightforward to me. If there's no further discussion, Karen, can you do the roll call, please?
Heather,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
and Dave.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to non-agenda items. Commissioner comments. Let's discuss the Whitney letter.
Chris, I'll just reiterate my previous comments that I made at the last meeting that I hope he has this done by our next meeting.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it sounds like he's moving along on it. I hope that that's the case and that it can be accomplished by that time. So,
And he states that he has his DEC septic system approved and that Joe has received a copy of it. Is that true?
That's true. He's got a approved proof for operation permit from DEC.
Okay, great. And have you inspected his property since our last meeting to see that he indeed has done these things that he says he's done?
No, I haven't. I'm not, unless I get an invite, I'm not going up there. And I kind of got an invite this morning when he drops his letter off. Give me a text sometime. You can come up and see what he's doing. So I braved the elements and go up there. I did an observation from the road last week, and it didn't look like anything was done yet, but I could only see so much from the road. I wasn't going to go up on the property, but I did observe it. But he has said now that they have started taking the siding down and such off of the structure, and maybe I say maybe by the end of the week I'll take a ride out there with his permission and take a look at how far he's gotten along. He did. I think the letter did say that he is now have changed his plans, and both connexes are going to be removed, so we don't have to worry about that other connex and building plans and such for his boat barn, which is going to be nice to have both of those connexes gone.
yeah.
He did say something to the effect that he's not sure if they're going to be able to get up there to get those connexes because of the schedules of the I guess Rock and Road is doing the hauling, so that might be the glitch. So that's the only little blurb he said that may hold things up, because Rock and Road can't get those things up there even if he's ready to have them hauled out.
So I know he didn't join us here today, but is it possible to put a phone call into him? And I mean, could he shoot you a picture showing that, there's been some progress done? I'd hate to just take his word for it in his letter that there's been progress done, because it seems like way prior to me joining the commission that this has been an ongoing thing for a while. And it seems really easy to just take a picture of a few things showing that things have indeed moved forward, and he could send that to your phone and you could let us know you see that. Is that asking too much?
Yes. Not really. It seems like this just started yesterday, Heather. But no, I think basically this is what we got today is this letter, and that's what he stated he's done so far, or he's in the process of doing so far. I think this just being a discussion item from the commission, you're not going to take any action today, but that was all you were asking for from the last meeting, was having a report from him at this meeting to where he would stand. And then the actual deadline is the next meeting. So we can't, he did get a report. We don't know how much he's going to be able to get done in a month, but you have put the stipulation that he has to be done in a month. So, but I indeed will, I will make an effort with his permission to get out there. And if I can, if he doesn't want to let me out there, I will ask for pictures to get to you. By the end of the week, I'll try to get some either pictures of my own or have him take some pictures of his progress and forward them on to the members of the commission, so everybody knows kind of where we stand. at this point in August and see where we stand at that meeting in September.
Okay,
And
thank you.
Is that acceptable?
Yes, to me. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I
I'm
don't
gonna see Sig in just a few minutes. I know Rock and Road is pretty busy, tied up with my Forest Service jobs.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of on the Rock and Road list when they're in town. Once he gets those things ready to hook on and haul out of there, but he did say that same thing, Richard, about that Rock and Road is up to their eyeballs and stuff. Because they're behind the 8 ball in a little bit. This is their season, and they're really not. They're not making any money dragging the rigs up there and hauling these things out of there. They're making the road bleeding you. In your Forest Service roads.
Yeah, they've got about 2 more weeks ahead of them here in Hoona, and they've got a Portage Bay job that they're running out of time on as well. So that's going to be kind of their priority.
Well, if he has everything down and on the ground and dismantled and stacked, and he's got those 2 Connexes sitting there ready for a tractor to come up and hook onto him and pull out of there, maybe it'll be acceptable for the September meeting. If he gets that far, I think we'd be happy. If the only holdup was that Rock and Road couldn't get up there to get those containers, and for a couple of weeks, I think you guys could make a decision there. But if he gets that far, I'd be happy. But it's up to you guys.
I'd like to comment that how long has this been going on? Since long before I was here. And I think probably he's had enough extensions. There's always something beyond his control. And I agree with Joe. If everything's stacked and ready to haul out of there, then that's acceptable. We can wait.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect another extension of anything because that's pretty much been your desire, as I stated at the last meeting. I'm just saying that if the only holdup was that everything's done and down and ready to go, and all he's waiting on is Rock and Road, although there is other haulers that could haul it out of there too. But that'll be your decision next month to see where he's at. But all I can do is, get a progress report and hopefully get some progress photos this week for you and see where we stand.
Okay, if there's no quorum next meeting, does he have an extension of a month then just automatically, or will everything still have to be down and stacked?
That's a question beyond me. I don't know.
No, he doesn't get an extension. You would have to act to give him an extension because you were.
But it would be another thing beyond his. We aren't going to change anything from next month except. So it would have to be down and stacked and waiting for Rock and Road to come and haul it away.
And I believe it should be off the property. But as Joe's saying, if it was down and everything was ready to go and you didn't have a quorum, we probably wouldn't, get too excited about it if it was all squared away and just waiting for Rock and Road.
Okay.
But if you don't meet, that doesn't give him an extension of time.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
But Liz, correct me if I'm wrong. It doesn't give an extension of time, but is it official? If it wasn't down, could action start be taken to letter-wise to make him comply as far as if it's you've had this extension, your deadline was now. We're gonna come out with our trucks in 2 weeks.
Yeah, technically, once September 8th passes, he's in violation of his conditional use permit. And he's also, I'm not sure if he's in violation of the zoning code, but he's in violation of the conditional use permit.
Yeah.
So I think, unfortunately, the worst that happens is you lose your conditional use permit, right? Which is just for that dwelling, that trailer dwelling. So I would think, I'd like to think that was already a moot point, that was down and ready to go, right? If it's still in use at that point, it would be a violation of the zoning code, and then we could use our nuisance ordinance to start sending letters and doing violations of the zoning code. But
Okay.
that's a long, like, paper war process, you know.
That's like a
He's used other people's schedules often to keep putting off his obligations. And like, everybody kind of knows you got to get on those lists early if you want, you know, your road resurfaced, or if you want, you know, a job done. And I wonder how soon he got on Rock and Road's list. Or if, you know, it's just kind of convenient now to say they're too busy for me.
Yeah, I understand, but it's I know he was on Reed's list for a long time to get the septic in and such, but best we can do, you know, like if Liz is saying the paper war process, if it goes that route, it's like another 30-day extension anyhow, because by the time you get letters and dates, and then before action's taken, it amounts to, I remember by the nuisance ordinance we had on the last thing, it takes about at least 30 days before you can actually actively do something to alleviate the nuisance.
Yeah.
And by then, Rock and Road will have those containers out of there.
They certainly should, or if Rock and Road is going to be unavailable, contract somebody else to get them out of there. So that's where we're at.
There's also a whole appeal process for that nuisance too, so if it's appealed, it takes years. So.
Can we just charge them by the meeting?
Yeah.
All right, are there any additional commissioner comments? Staff comments?
Oh, Joe finally got his camera working.
I phone again. No, I had to go on my phone because I couldn't get my computer to work. It had to reboot. It died. So, no.
Any comments?
Yeah, I want my computer to work because I was eating lunch for the meeting. Dog. So no comments from staff comments there, Mr. Commissioners.
No staff comments?
No, I don't have any comments.
Okay. All right. The next meeting is scheduled for September 8th at noon. Is that going to be a problem? Other than the fact I might be in Juneau. I don't know.
I won't be here unless they cancel my surgeries, and there's no way I'll be able to connect, because even if I could access the computer in the hotel, the internet, the line, I wouldn't have a laptop or an index, in whatever those little computer tablets, and so rather than stress at all about it, I'm just going to say there's no way I can be here or in connection. So.
Okay.
Okay.
So Heather, what does your schedule look like?
I think I'll be here.
Okay. And Dave?
Yeah, I'll be here.
Richard?
I'll be here.
Okay. So I'm sure Sally will be. She just had a little snafu with voting. And Tor depends on fishing, I guess. So we should be good.
Okay.
And then guys, we have an election in October, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you up for?
Yeah,
I
we
think
have
almost
like
all of you.
5.
I know I am.
I think almost all of you.
Because Heather and Nancy were appointed, correct?
Yes,
Right. So they would have to run for their seats.
Right.
I filed.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Great. Okay.
So I'm going to run for the assembly, but if I don't get elected, I'll be happy to be appointed. So just give you a heads up.
Good. It's good to hear that other people are running for the assembly.
Yeah.
Well,
Say that again, Dave. So I want to hear it. My ears were. Did you say that again, Dave, please?
I said I was going to run for the assembly as long as you have retired by then. No.
Hey. Really?
I guess, yeah. It wasn't a very easy decision.
Have you filed?
I'm in the process. I just
need-
made the decision this morning. So.
You need any signatures?
Yeah, I think Karen Hofstad and is going to have a petition. So, yeah,
How much do you need?
Martin 20.
You think you can get 20 people that'll sign that?
I don't know. That's what I'm wondering.
You need a few extra. Keep that in mind.
In case there's voter fraud or something.
Yeah, that's why I was going to ask somebody else to do it. So guys, all I guess I could say is just try and start thinking of some more people that might want to be on planning and zoning.
Were
You know
you,
anybody?
was your term up, Dave?
Yes.
Five of
done.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think I've been on here for 5-6 years,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. So.
Well,
All right. We have a motion to adjourn.
So move.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.